Welcome to Inquiring Minds. Y'all please excuse my voice. As my luck would have it, I tested positive for COVID right before having to record this episode, and I'm still recovering. Throughout this podcast, we will be discussing scientific topics from an amateur point of view as I am learning about them in my inquiry and math and science class. We started our semester out by discussing the question of what is science. We delved into deductive reasoning. You know, spiders have 8 legs, a black widow is a spider, so a black widow must have 8 legs. Inductive reasoning, like cobras are venomous, cobras are snakes, so all snakes must be venomous, and the difference between the two. We had a discussion of scientific theories and scientific laws, and I don't know about y'all, but I've always been of the understanding that evolution was a theory, but nope, it's a law. I also found it interesting that gravity is considered both a theory and a law, but that's a topic for another time. And we examined the criteria necessary for classifying something as scientific. Is it observable? Is it predictable? Is it testable? That kind of thing. Each of the upcoming 3 episodes will include a reflection on that module's topic, along with a famous crime and a current event related to it. The true crime fan in me is thrilled. I'm Adrienne, just a regular person, living life on this planet, making it through the best I can, working hard, trying to have some fun, and learning along the way. I'm always learning. I'm hoping to capture the interest of at least a few people who, like me, have a general interest in science, especially forensic science, but need a non-expert level explanation of some things. I hope to be able to provide you with that type of explanation, along with some fun and maybe a little humor. So, a little bit about me. I'm 39, although I only have a few short months until I reach the big 40. I was born in Fort Knox, Kentucky, and spent my entire childhood moving around the country as the daughter of a United States soldier. I attended San Marcos Senior High School in San Marcos, Texas for 2 years, before the Army stationed my dad in Fort Riley, Kansas, where I graduated from Junction City Senior High School in 2003. I then continued my adventures with my husband of over 16 years, who is also in the Army. That's what brought us here to El Paso, Texas. I am mom to 3 boys, who are 19, 15, and 10. I'm a huge animal lover, which explains why we have 4 dogs, all rescues, 5 chickens, a rooster, and an Amazon parrot. I love to garden, and I try to grow as much of our own food as possible, and I dream of a life living on my own homestead one day. In my free time, I enjoy gardening, weightlifting, reading, cooking, camping, hiking, and much more. I am currently in my junior year at the University of Texas in El Paso, working on finishing my Bachelor of Social Work degree after years of searching for my professional path. And believe me, I had many ideas. Maybe a marine biologist, possibly a high school history or English teacher. I was in nursing school for a short time. Maybe accounting. You get the idea. It took me a while to decide. And it just so happened that moving around about every 2 to 3 years, on top of having 3 children, gave me plenty of time to decide. I started working towards a degree in sociology years ago, and I did actually receive my Associates in Science of Sociology from Northwest Florida State College in Niceville, Florida in 2016. After finding out that most sociology majors end up in research careers, I decided that wasn't for me. After a few years, I realized that while I am intrigued by sociology, I don't want to be a researcher. I want to be out in society personally helping people, which led to my decision to get my degree in social work with the hopes of becoming a substance abuse and rehabilitation counselor. And with my husband preparing to retire, which means no more mandatory moves, and my kids being older, now is the perfect time to make it happen. Like I said in the beginning, there will be 3 additional episodes. Some topics that will be covered in future episodes include a discussion about the collection of trace evidence, eyewitness testimony, how accurate is it really, the different types of evidence, evaluating the authority and credibility of sources, the science behind distraction, and the CSI effect, which includes bloodstain pattern analysis and cyber forensics. This should prove to be an exciting and interesting ride, not only because of the subject matter, but also because this is my first time ever making a podcast. I am an avid podcast listener, but that's as far as I've ever gone. Any fellow podcast fans out there? I'm always looking for a recommendation for a good podcast. If you have any, send them my way. And if you're looking for a good podcast, I can point you in the right direction as well. Just let me know. I got a little sidetracked there for a second. But I just ask that you please be patient with me as I figure all of the podcast stuff out, and hopefully we can have fun while learning a thing or two at the same time. Enjoy.